Hey guys, what's going on? So this is my day one jumping workout based off of a Monday through Friday schedule. This would be the Monday workout. Also, if you would like the actual physical jumping exercises to go with it, the link will be in the description below, and I will post that separately. And a lot of this stuff, I'd say like 99% of it is from this program called Knees Over Toes that I stole from, so I want to give him a shout out. So if you guys really like it, go see him. I kind of made some modifications and added my own twist to a lot of this. So you're going to start off with 5 minutes of just walking backwards, running backwards, jogging backwards. But with that, whenever we're walking backwards, right, you could have a weighted vest like how you see me in the video. You could have no vest on. You could have a sled in front of you and maybe like a rope or something around your waist, so you have some sort of resistance. And let's say if you're walking with the sled, you can just try to make circles, or you could push the sled back wherever you go if you're in a tight space. So adding resistance to your body or some sort of weight to the body would be helpful. And the reason why you do this for 5 minutes is we're warming up the patellar tendon, right? We're warming up our tibialis muscle, which is your first muscle. It's this shin muscle right here. It's the tibialis muscle. It's the first line of protection to your knee, right? A lot of people, they exercise their calf, right? But we're trying to warm up, and we'll exercise this tibialis muscle a lot throughout our jump program. And then our VMO, which is this little teardrop muscle right here. It's your fastest twitch muscle. So we're just trying to get the knees warmed up, the legs warmed up. So basically, the Knees Over Toes program, his whole aspect is to reverse out knee pain. So in China or Japan, whatever one that does there's a study done that they have the lowest percentage of knee surgeries in America, or in the world, and America has the number one highest knee surgeries in the world. And one of the main causes is we don't really talk about how to prevent knee pain, right? Or how to prevent ACL tears, or meniscus, or whatever there is. In China, what they do naturally as a culture is they walk backwards, right? So walking backwards, jogging backwards is a huge benefit, and now they're starting to find scientific aspects and reasons behind it as well, so it's pretty cool. So that's the first thing you're going to start off doing. That's your warm-up, okay? Right after that, you're going to go into reverse step-ups. So reverse step-ups, right? So, and as you see in the video, I do each progression. So I'm starting off with no weight, no resistance. My feet are on the ground. I'm trying to reach out as far as possible. You're gonna do 5 sets of 10. 5 sets of 10 on each leg. Okay, 5 sets of 10 on each leg. Once it feels comfortable with doing it on the ground with no weight, then you can do you can go onto a 6-inch platform, right? And work on going there. Once there's no pain, again, no pain. Once there's no pain, you can add a bar on your back, okay? And then you can just start adding weight. Weight-wise, you want to go in 5-pound increments, right? Bi-weekly. So, or weekly, sorry, weekly. So the reason for that is because you don't want to make big jumps, right? Especially when we're talking about the knees. So we want to make sure that we're listening to our knees. If our knees hurt, then we need to take a step back. Does that make sense? So the biggest thing is once you start to add weight on the back, right? Again, we're listening to our body. We're seeing where we're at with our threshold of no pain, right? There should be no pain throughout this these exercises, right? So bars on the back, and then you'll see that as we start to add weight on the bar, right? You want to go up in 5-pound increments weekly, right? So I say weekly. If your body feels good on a week-to-week base, right, and the weight feels easy, then move up, right? And if you knock out the reps without taking a breather in 10 minutes, right? So your goal is to do this in 10 minutes, 5 sets of 10 on each leg in 10 minutes, okay? If you can do it in 10 minutes with the weight, with no pain, then you can move up 5 pounds next week, right? And you keep going up until you either hit 50% of your body weight or 100% of your body weight. You don't want to go up any higher than that, right? It's either 50%, it's between the 50% and 100% range where you want to stop, right? Just because in a basketball atmosphere, right, we're not having to lift a lot of weight, we're just lifting our body weight. So the more that we can control our body, the better, right? So maybe if you're in football or some more powerful sport, maybe you want to increase the weight, you could. I'm not too sure on that, but from a basketball perspective, 50% to 100% of your body weight and weight is what you're looking for. So you'll go from bar on the back to then you want to go where your heel is elevated, and you're trying to apply, when your heel is elevated, you're trying to apply a lot of toe pressure, right? Because if you can activate your toes and the pad of your foot, that will help activate your glutes, right? And your glutes is a huge driving factor for all power moves as far as running and jumping goes. So heel lifted, and then the last progression, once you feel like you've hit 50% of your body weight with your heel lifted, or 100% of your body weight with your heel lifted, then you're gonna go where there's no weight, right? And then you're lifting your heel as you're dropping the other one on the ground, and then you're coming up and then dropping that heel, right? It's kind of hard, maybe hard to see in the video. That's the last progression that you want to do, and that's kind of simulating like you walking down the stairs, right? But now you're adding a load on the back. So now you're walking down and then you come up. So then you're also working on driving that pad of the foot, the toe, in the ground, which will help, again, with the jumping throughout that reverse out knee pain. So with the reverse step up, right, you're doing 5 sets of 10 in 10 minutes, okay? You start off on the ground, no weight, and then you go onto a 6-inch platform, and then you start adding weight, right? And what that will do as well is that will create ankle mobility. Ankle mobility is a huge driving factor for working out as well. So from there, we'll go to a Nordic. As you see in the video, you can either use a belt, like a strap, on the bench. You could use a car, like a car where you're putting your feet underneath the car, and some pads on your knees. Or you can do, there's a bunch of different variations that you can do. You can have a partner. As you can tell, I use the bench and I use a weightlifting belt around my ankles, and that worked for the Nordic. So you do 5 sets of 5 in 5 minutes. 5 sets of 5 in 5 minutes. So basically you're doing every minute, you're knocking out a set, okay? So the goal is eventually to try to get with no hands where your shoulder's going below your hips, right? Now, if not, like you see in the video, I'm having to catch myself, right? Because I don't quite have the strength of my hamstrings. And then from there, I'm pushing back up. But as I push back up, I'm also trying to engage my glutes, my calves, and my hamstrings to pull back up, right? To pull back up. This is a huge strength exercise that you'll see a lot of some of the best athletes in the world from all aspects, from hockey to basketball to soccer, to football, that can do this with ease, and it all resembles back to good knee health, right? So if you can master these exercises, I promise you your knees are going to be fine. You have 5 sets of 5 in 5 minutes Nordics. And then from there you go into 5 sets of 5 in 5 minutes reverse Nordics. So as you can tell in the video, that's me going straight down, right, and coming back up. You'll start off with a platform, right, because you might not have the mobility from the hips or the quads to do it yet, right? So the biggest thing is you want to keep your hips forward. You don't want your butt to sink down. Hips forward, and we're working on trying to keep it all straight, right? And then trying to come back up using the quads, right? And the glutes. So your glutes are activated, hips are pushed forward, and we're leaning back, right? We don't want the hips to drop down. Keep them forward. Once we go back as far as we possibly can, again, the ultimate level is the ground, right? And then come back up. So as you can see in the video, I use 45-pound weights to 45-pound weights, because that's where I feel best at, right? And you can keep adding weights if you don't feel like you have that mobility, and if you're a little bit more better with it, you can drop the weight until eventually you're doing all of your sets on the ground. And then after that, we go into squats. So with these squats, my heels are elevated. I have no weight. You want to start off with no weight on your back, okay? The biggest thing is you want your hamstrings to touch your calves, right? You want the hamstrings to touch your calves. Okay, hamstrings to touch your calves. That's the biggest thing, right? So the reason for that is this one, we're trying to work the VMO. So the VMO, right? If you see a lot of squatters or like really good dunkers, right? They have very massive VMOs, right? Again, that VMO is just that teardrop muscle. And what they've found is that the higher jumpers also have great mobility knee range, right? So what we're working on is with the heels lifted, right? It allows us to have that ankle freedom, that ankle mobility to get depth, right? To then also start gaining knee strength and patellar tendon strength around the knees whenever we're doing our lifting, right? So again, starting off with no weight on the back. When you can do 3 sets of 10 in 10 minutes, 3 sets of 10 in 10 minutes, then you can move up and put a bar on your back. Once you can do that, you keep going up until you either hit, again, 50% of your body weight to 100% of your body weight, somewhere in that range. This is the end of day 1 jumping workout. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, subscribe, and continue to follow the journey.